Anybody's got a question up around the mic?
Just raise your hand if you have one. And don't be scared. You got one. Here we go.
So how would you like balance the urge to keep growing your business and then with like maintaining what you already have?
That's a really good question. Right now in our industry, with where things are going, we are solely focused on maintaining. Growth is a bit of a pink unicorn in the craft beer world right now. If you're not being driven by one of the 2 or 3 large brands that own breweries across the country or have capital available that we do not, maintaining is a lot of our goals right now. And we've had to shift our business plan probably three real times since the pandemic started of we just don't care if our beer is out in the market anymore. Our margins are the best on site. Our beer is the most controlled from a quality standpoint on site, and we have the highest incremental revenue growth potential on site. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think about it because I know it so well. We're just not worried about getting out of the market because margins are so razor thin on distribution, and distributors right now are actually shrinking their portfolios. So if you're in the bottom third of a distributor's portfolio, I promise you they don't care about you. And B, they would rather you close so they don't have to be the ones to give you the bad news of like, we're not pushing your product anymore. And if you want to push product out in the market, you have to have a salesperson, which is an expenditure that you can't necessarily afford if they're not making sales. And everything is getting more expensive to produce. And that's all the way back to the CO2 that we use to can our beer on a can line and literally like carbonate the beer. Raw materials are up. I'm sure you guys have heard of aluminum. Has had like the spotlight on it for a while. Nothing is going down in price, and consumer budgets are shrinking on specialty products, and we would call craft beer a specialty product. So those 2 things happening at the exact same time are terrifying. But what we can control is if people come to Broken Bat, we can control those margins a little bit better. So we're very focused on holding serve versus growth.
So I guess a quick follow-up, if you're just focusing on maintaining what you have, like what is like the entrepreneurial stuff that you're still doing, like daily to try and, I mean, surely you're still trying to make your business better, maybe not bigger, right?
Yeah.
Like how do you like find a balance where you still feel like I'm an entrepreneur, like moving forward?
Because people do not just show up because you're open. So we're having to come up with new quirky events. Like we just had a bonsai tree cutting event. Didn't have that on my radar, 6 to 12 months ago. But more community outreach and getting these micro groups of running clubs and card players, video gamers, puzzle races. Like that's kind of the shift in entrepreneurial spirit is like, okay, people are not just going to show up because you say we're open. That's not going to happen anymore. So how do we get groups to come in, experience the space, feel it, have a good time, tell their friends, and hopefully come back on a Saturday. Yeah, it's being very creative and getting new people to show up without just saying, oh, new beer. Like that used to work. Just putting it on Instagram, like, oh, new beer, double IPA. Like people would just kind of flock to it. And that is not the case anymore for craft beer. So, yeah.
So I'm sure you do like a lot of seasonal beers, like during fall or like a pumpkin thing. How do you go about creating recipes for that, especially like just adding it to what you already have, or is it like you make a small batch and you say, I like this, it should have more of this?
Yeah, so we do have seasonal. So Nick, our head brewer, is he's got like brewing degrees. So he's very scientifically based. He was brewing at Third Space in Lakefront before he became the head brewer with us. So he is in charge of recipe creation. Admittedly, like we are not part of that like pumpkin beer group. We do have a pilot system, so a pilot system is basically, like the tanks are like the size of these chairs, and we play in that system a lot, and we'll experiment with, you know, a maltier amber, or a hoppier IPA, or a lighter lager, and then if it goes well, we put it on tap, our mug club says, yeah, this is great, we love this, or we get feedback on Untapped or on Yelp or Google, we'll scale it up from there. But we do a lot of, we call it our small ball series. So in baseball, small ball is like bunting, stealing bases, being annoying. We kind of use that moniker as our pilot program. And then the beers do really well, we do scale up from there. But yeah, we're constantly, we dump a lot of that beer too. Like if we all try it on our team, we're like, this sucks. You know, we'll just dump it down the drain, try again. But yeah, we do play in the sandbox a lot.
Anybody else? Anybody else thinking of actually starting a brewery? Anyone have that idea right now? Was I wrong on that?
Or brewing beer generally, has anyone ever?
There's gonna be 4 Golden Eagle beers that come out from this. I know, they're not saying it now.
Well, your classmates are releasing a beer in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we taught it, we're at the tail end of our class, the engineering department, where students quite literally went through the scientific process of brewing and sales and marketing and product development, and they're all brewed and kegged up, and the release party's on the 28th, so if you guys want to sign up for the class next year,
Spots are open.
There you go.
Professor Pauly.
Anybody else? All right, awesome.
Thank you so much, Tim.
thank you guys, appreciate it.